Hello, it is a dark episode for February the 16th, 2022. Sitting out here under the full moon with very clear sky, watching the dogs illuminated by the moonlight, my little creatures of the night. And I'm just chilling. It was a fairly straightforward day. I wasn't particularly exhausted, wasn't feeling particularly super depressed. Didn't get a ton done. Part of it was I was gearing up for going in to do my end of the year work assessment meeting with my manager, but I'm always aware that he's always got tons on his plate, and I could get shuffled off the plate pretty easily. So when I didn't want to just show up and find out I'd been shuffled and been there, early for that and find out I got shuffled, so I texted at noon, and indeed I had gotten shuffled, which is fine. Which is, it's gonna be I pretty much pro forma kind of a meeting. Anyways, I think I'm doing okay. If there's problems, I'm sure I'm less of a problem than other people at my workplace, and I think I do. I'm a fairly good employee, I think. I tick all my boxes, and I'm actually, like the residents, and try and, be a good support for them, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, we had an inspector in today, so that didn't go as well as my manager, who is definitely a perfectionist, wanted it to go. Definitely not. So I guess we'll be hearing about that over the next little while. That'll be interesting. Oh yeah, oh yeah. That will maybe ramp things up a little bit at work. We shall see. That's why it's always good to be working the shift that I work. The manager could be very stressed at me for about a half an hour, but then they go home and I have this other 7 hours of a shift. So I like that. I like that a lot. Reading Thomas Hardy poems, it's one of these things where I found one or two really good ones at the start. Some of the ones are kind of amusing. There's definitely poems that are very much, you can tell this is like, written by an older poet, though some of them are written by a younger poet too, because it's late verses and early. It's sort of a grab bag that way, and it feels a bit of a grab bag. How many poems here are the resonators? I think the one that I talked about a while ago is one of them. They're sometimes doing these reading out loud things. You're going in blind, and I'm sort of committed, and no ums, no ahs. I'm committed, and there's something to say about being committed and just daily doing this. It's an interesting kind of discipline which I enjoy. I'm glad I'm doing poems, because I felt slightly burnt out from doing Michael Armstrong Factory Boy by Francis Trollope before. That was just a little, that had been a bit of a grind with a long text. This is being a bit of a grind with short text. So I'll have to be careful about what I pick next. Pick something next that I'm hopefully I will enjoy and get kind of caught up in. That's the thing about the poetry, is you're always getting a different poem, and a different era of Thomas Hardy. You never know if you're going to get an early Thomas Hardy poem or a late Thomas Hardy poem. So yeah. I just figured I'd make a note of that. It's going okay, but it feels a bit more like work at the moment than it does pleasure. Which, that's okay. But I'm definitely trying to power through a good number of poems a day, so it won't be as long as it might be All right, I will leave it there. The Shira is trying to give me very deep kisses at the moment, and maybe that means it's time to go inside. All right, chat to you later.